This is our Heritage Softail bike. Now, I don't know for sure if the Fat Boys that have this type of headlight work the same way. I kind of think they should, but I'm not sure because the video that we did earlier is the big old Road King looking headlight. So let's hope that the Fat Boys have the same setup as the Heritage. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to get rid of these big old driving lights, spotlights, and change out the signal lights. It's really quite easy. I had this whole thing apart. Thinking maybe we could change the wires inside and all that, but it's just really hard to do, and there's not really connectors or anything in there. So we're going to just kind of do it the real simple way. So stay tuned. You'll notice that I put a big heavy towel right here to protect the fender. You'll want to do that for sure, because when we release this bar is going to want to come down. Now what I want you to do is remove these bottom screws first. There's two on each side. Remove the bottom ones first, and then remove the top ones last. That way you can just hold this bar and let it fall down. Okay, hopefully yours has quite a bit of slack in the wires there. You need a certain amount to work with here, because if it's too short, it'd be really awkward. So anyway, make sure the key is off or the battery's disconnected when you do this. If you cut this with the battery on, or the ignition on, you'll probably blow a fuse. So make sure that's off before you cut them. And then I've cut that side. Then just cut them close to the lights here. Just snip them off. And then you can lower that light bar out of the way. We'll wire up the new lights, and gosh, it's pretty simple. Now we want to prepare the lights for the installation. Do me a favor and just take these lenses, there's a little slot there, and pop that off with a screwdriver. Just twist it, and the lens will pop off. And that's how you change the bulb if you need to. And then rotate the slot over to the side of the light, opposite the screw here. Do it 90 degrees to the slot. That way, if you have to change these lenses while it's on the bike, you can get the screwdriver in there. And you'll want to change them anyway, because when you mount the lights, you want the slot down. That way, when you wash the bike, it won't fill the light with the water. Next, we want to cut the wires off about 9 inches from the base of the light to the end of the cut, 9 inches. And then what we'll do is we'll take a knife and we'll just slit the outside of the housing a little bit, the insulation, and peel it back and expose about 3 inches of wire. About 3 inches. In your kit, we included 4 small butt splicers. I love that name. And then 4 large. You only need half as many. We sent you twice as many as you need in case you screw up. Okay, the most important thing is the large butt splice. Now go ahead and strip about 3/8 of an inch of insulation off the ends of all these wires. And then do the blue wires first. The blue, you have to put the large butt splicer on there. And then the other wires you put small. So do the 2 blue with the large butt, and then install these small butt splicers on the purple and the blacks. We sent a picture also to remind you. The last step before we mount these on the bike is we want to cut pieces of heat shrink. We include this in the kit. Now this is really nice stuff too. It has the adhesive inside. So once you butt splice and heat shrink all this stuff, it's going to be permanent. You'll love it. So anyway, cut about 1.5 to 2-inch pieces of heat shrink and slide them over your wires, just like that. And I put a piece of tape on there. I'll do this one too. That way, when you are dinking with these and screwing around, they won't fall off, because it's really important that you have these on there when you crimp these butt splicers. Now, to prepare for the wire coming out of the headlight housing, go ahead and twist the blue and the gray together. Trim about 3/8 of an inch off each wire. So twist those together, and then you have your blue and the gray, your black and your purple. Okay, lay your light in that little pocket on your towel there, and let's go ahead and plug the blue. Let's connect the blue and the gray to the blue wire coming out of the signal light. Make sure it's blue to blue. We'll go ahead and put that in there, and we'll crimp that one, and we'll do all the rest. Make sure the light is really good when you do this, because on the signal lights, the blue and the purple are a little bit similar. So just a quick recap. You got blue and gray to blue, black to black, and purple to purple. Go ahead and crimp those. We'll slide those up and heat shrink those, and we'll do the other side, and we'll be finished, at least ready to fasten the light to the fork tube. Okay, let's carefully heat those heat shrinks up and shrink them up on the wires. Just do a little bit at a time. Be careful not to burn the wires. And you'll see the adhesive kind of ooze out of the heat shrink once you get them just right. Hey, moment of truth. Go ahead and turn your ignition on. Make sure your headlight and everything comes on. And then we have running lights. That's what we want. And then let's hit our blinkers. Right. Left. Awesome. You're an electrician now. Let's go ahead and put these on the bike. Okay, let's mount these to the bike. Now grab these brackets. They look like this. This is the right side, and it bends out away from the fork, and it goes back to the back. Yours will be black, but I always like to show this in bare metal so you can see them, because when they're black, you just can't tell what it is. So anyway, and then go ahead and push this chrome housing back. Make sure your wires are in these slots right here on both sides. And then let's go ahead and carefully put the screw in the top. Do me a favor on this. These are stainless steel screws, and they're fine threads, so go ahead and put a little oil on the threads. Just put a little oil on there. They'll start into the bike so much easier if you have a little oil. You got to be really careful, because these fine threaded stainless steel screws will strip really easily. So make sure they start in there nice and easily. And then go ahead and put this one in just part way. Okay, this is the way the screws go in. So have your washer, or lock washer, like that. And then put it in the back side. And then take your little black spacer and slide that over the screw, like that. And then go ahead and screw the light on there. Go ahead and screw that in so that you can leave it a little bit loose, but go ahead and screw it all the way in. Okay, we're just about finished here. So go ahead and put this screw in, do the same thing, put a little oil on it, be really careful. And then as you tighten this up, slide this wire up in here, so it's neat and tight, so it just kind of loops around and back up in. And then slide this chrome cover, slide it back this way as you tighten this. As you tighten the screw. That way you won't have a big gap there. So do that, tighten that up, tighten the light up. Make sure that the lights are parallel to the ground. A lot of times I see guys and they'll aim the lights up funny on an angle or down or weird looking things. So make sure they're level to the ground. And then do the other side, snug everything up. Turn your caps around so the slot's on the bottom. And then you should be ready to go. Gosh, and there you have it. These look really nice, and they sure clean up the front end of that bike. Make sure when you tuck your wires up in here, that they don't hang out here or in the back or something. Make sure that you can't see them and that they're tucked in really nicely. And then that should do it. Like I say, make sure you turn those slots around so the water won't fill up the lights, and then we'll move to the back side.